satanic demons have revised their methods beginning in the 70s. This is what I believe to be true. The destruction, or the so called destruction, of the black race. When you tell, or when you manipulate people into believing that females in this case, that abortion is not murder, the beginning, it is the beginning of the destruction of the so-called black race. Millions upon millions, beginning in the late 60s, early 70s, have been aborted by the so-called black female, believing that it is perhaps not murder by aborting a baby in order to keep her freedom. It just metastasized from that point to believing that by keeping the baby and abortion combined, you can manipulate the men into paying money, which the court systems become involved, and it becomes a massive circle of self-destruction. What is it that I believe? I believe that these things have all been foretold in Scripture. Not my words, not things that I'm making up by sitting here saying this, but it's scriptural. I took the time just to begin to study the Bible, not fully immersed into it, but I'm getting there. When I studied the scriptures and find out these things are meant to be, they have to come to pass. The, the female killing of their own children, the female destruction of the black male, so-called. These things are all foretold in scripture. I sit up here on this block, then I take the trip to work through the weekdays, but I see so much destruction. Our boys becoming effeminate or effeminate, our women becoming masculine. It was a story that was told on YouTube that I saw a few days ago by this gentleman that was on this train, and these children or young people or young cats was smoking some marijuana or whatever. I gather the guy make a stance because he didn't want to go to work smelling like that, and they proceeded to attack him. One of the youngsters popped him in the back of the head, a female, mind you, with a skateboard, knocked him out. They find pride in their ability to self-destruct. It's sad, sad thing. I mean, myself, I'm like past 50. But I saw this coming back when I was a kid, when I lived in a different state. And I was like, man, this is not going to turn out good. This is not going to, I'm talking about it in the 80s when I was a young cat. And I seen how these, at that time, young cats of my age, I'm talking about 18, 16, around there, were having kids. without the ability to take care of them or anything. And I like, gosh, those kids are, let me correct myself, or their offsprings will be twice as worse, twice as bad as them in the preceding generations up until the present day, where you got places now like Chicago that's being called Chirac, or I think it's Minneapolis, where they're planting drugs. Cops are actually planting drugs to get brownie points from their command staff so they can be promoted and get more money. Dallas, where the kids attacked that boy. I mean, excuse me, that man, simply because he made a statement. He stood up and he was attacked for it by kids. I mean, it's scriptural. Am I the only one that sees this?